Oh man, finally, no more work. I wonder what I should play today. Wow, so many new stuff. Whoa, new Persona remake? Man, they never do run out of stuff with that. Elden Ring Night Rain is available. Hell yeah. New Gears of War, new Death Stranding. Yeah, that's pretty tight. That's cool. Okay. Holy shit. Oh, new Souls like that. Let's just play League. Did you remember when you were a kid and you discovered video games for the first time? What did you feel when you think about that? For me, it was magical. I was just a chump, ignorant about everything that's going on in the world back then. And that was fine. Nobody expected anything out of a grade schooler. I was just doing what normal kids were doing.
Hi, Daddy.
Everything was fun, I enjoyed a lot of it, but it wasn't something that clicked with me. That something was video games. I remember the first time seeing my brother play Pokemon using an emulator at a PC. I liked cartoons a lot too at the time, so it was literally my thing. I was like, this is the shit, bro. Mind you, I wasn't even the one playing, it was someone else. However, that was enough to hook me into the world of gaming. When I was a kid, I would get whatever game was available to me and just play it without a second glance. I was a wee kid, so that was what I mostly played during the time. Also, a couple of PlayStation and PC games here and there. Donkey Kong Country Returns, Mario Galaxy, Wii Sports, and the Resorts. Even the ones you probably never heard of before, like the niche ones. That one Mega Man game, Poke Park, Tatsunoko vs Capcom, Barnyard, even COD on the Wii. I literally picked any game that was at the store without trailers, without reviews, just straight up played them as it is, because it was fun. Every new game was a new experience. Every genre I played, nothing was boring. Then we go to the present. What the hell happened? It feels like now, even though games have progressed so much and evolved to a point where it should be the peak of what's fun, it ended up being more stale than a piece of hardtack. I have a couple of theories of why this happened, but there's one specific thing that I'd like to get out of the way first, so let's start with that.
I'm in the clubs, go to hoes, I'm in rocket. Posted in the cut, and I'm looking for a blockhead. In my white tee, I break a bitch, and I
Now, I don't mean that you can't enjoy games anymore, it's just that the responsibilities that you have now, work, family, friends, all that stuff, they essentially take up more time than what you can do for games. You know, for games you can sort of just pause. Shut up, multiplayer games, we're not talking about that, you get what I mean. But yeah, real life stuff can be hard and taxing sometimes, and you get no choice but to focus on them for a while. Time is precious and you gotta use them for what you need at times, not what you want. Just make sure to have balance on the two. Why the hell am I giving you life advice? That's not the point of this video. Anyways, moving on, let's say you get some time to relax, time to play some games. So, what games do you play? Because you have shit to do the next day, you can't afford to waste your time on searching for something fun instead of having fun itself. So, the games you already have are probably the best bet for the situation. Even a 10 out of 10 rated game can be boring and we uninstall it after a couple of minutes. I know I did. Our brains have developed already and we achieved critical thinking. It's not because the game sucks, it's because we already have specific things that we liked as we grew up, and we like sticking to that. In short, you don't have as much time as you were a kid to explore different type of games because of time constraints as an adult, and if not, you already have a specific type of game you like and are reluctant to try new stuff. There's just simply not enough time on normal days to invest in a new game. Well, usually. People's circumstances are different, and honestly, I'm not even the type of guy I described in this segment. So say you have time to explore and play, and you're more open to different types of games, then why are we still here? Why do we still avoid playing this barrage of new games?
Just want one game. I don't know why. I bought a PS5 with no games to buy.
Usually, when I try to find new games to play, there's a couple of things that come to mind. One of those things are, can I play this game with friends, and are they able to enjoy it? The multiplayer aspect of video games are one of the most thrilling and exciting parts of gaming. Maybe even more so than just playing yourself for some people. Most of the time, when I try to find new games, I think about if this game is going to be fun with one particular fan group, or is it not gonna click at all? Not all humans are the same. We have different interests in what we like and not like to do in games. For example, one of my guys like to play like a grindy type of game. MMORPGs, MOBAs, you get the deal. Sometimes just laying back and watching the levels go up together is satisfying enough to do in a game for us. And then in that same friend group, there's someone who only likes games that have more of a thrill, you know? To get that adrenaline pumping. There's also the guy who usually plays solo games and they only play multiplayer if there's something easy to learn and have fun with in a short amount of time. And that's all perfectly fine. It's what makes us so unique. Differences are perfectly fine in people. But that also makes the process of choosing a game that much harder. It just sometimes feels like a chore to research and find a game that fits all the categories that your friend group has and gamble if it's gonna be worth your time downloading it, installing and playing it. There's the usual safe bets like the free-to-play games, Marvel Rivals, Counter-Strike, League, Dota, but of course once in a while everybody wants to do something new. Still, my point stands. We avoid trying out new games because it feels like a chore to do so, after all of those factors hindering our fun. Games these days are different from what they were in the past. They follow a more formulaic approach compared to the past where it was more experimental. Right now, in the present, video games aren't just a side project anymore, they're an actual big industry. AAA games most often than not wants to make a profit, so they follow a formula that has worked again and again in the past, so innovation takes a hit from that. Games were like the Wild West back then. Nobody knew what was going on and anything can work. You can really feel the developer's creativity flowing through your body. When you watch a trailer to one COD game, to the normal person's eye, it's indistinguishable to another COD game. What's the difference between this shooty thing and this other shooty thingamajig? Or maybe, why do they recycle the same FIFA game 20 years in a row? Why are there so many games that copy an earlier successful game? It's because it works. People are gonna eat it up once you hear it's like Genshin Impact but with guns or multiplayer. Companies want safety, not innovation most of the time. And this understandably makes us feel more and more bored the more we browse through the games that's recommended. But hey, there's indie games, those are still fun, like Balatro. Like dude, I even made a full series about the Lore of the Jokers. But people get concerned about how it's not made by a big dev or so that might be a point that people get stuck on to why they still feel bored and not want to try out new games. So it might not be our fault, but the industry itself. But wait, that's a point of its own. Decision paralysis. When you really need every single minute to be getting things done, but just don't know how to choose where to start or what to tackle next. In this case, how many games are available nowadays compared to the ones back then? Instead of having a certain budget to buy a couple of games in store back then, now you have to really think about it and tell yourself, is it worth it to spend like $60 on a game I might not even play? And how many fucking games are out there right now? It's great there are so many, don't get me wrong, but in my experience, after seeing so many games and seeing the reviews and trailers and stuff, I ended up getting tired and just went back to CS for a quick competitive match. When faced with a great amount of choices, you stick to the ones you know best, or you just don't choose at all. So what now? Honestly, you gotta have to train hard for real. You gotta open up your mind and try a game that you really vibe with, or even one that you're not sure of. Of course, reviews are fine, but try not to rely on them too much. If you can, just don't watch them at all. Even games that were considered bad back then was good in the eyes of a couple of gamers. You shouldn't think, have I wasted my time by trying out this game I didn't like? But you should think, this wasn't for me, but at least I gave it a chance. That's how I got excited again on trying new games recently. Really, just give it a chance for like an hour or two. It's real for any other experience in your life also, like hobbies, sports, jobs. Just try it out once for yourself and you can decide if you want to keep playing or not after that. Anyways, that's it from me. I'm gonna go back playing some more of Isekai Animal Crossing or something. Bye bye.